All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of The Breaks Radio. This is Hayes, one of the hosts here at The Breaks Radio. We also got
Third of
Miss
Hayes.
Marion Monte in the building. What's going on? Half a Hayes. Half a Hayes.
Hey,
This intro, though. This
he's
is Hayes.
hey.
He didn't even say what's going on, beautiful
Nope.
people, or
He's
whatever.
Hayes.
Nope, we ain't got time for all that. Fuck the people.
Gotta
No, I'm
go.
just playing, but
Oh shit.
This Hayes.
it's Hayes, motherfucker. We also got the great one, Bailey. The greats in the building. What's going on, Bailey?
Another day, another dollar.
More money, more murder.
I also got the rare wine connoisseur, aka the hip hop historian, Marquis.
Fuck y'all.
All right, well, there you go. Right along, we're jumping right into something that actually Marquis talked about after hearing Pusha T's new album. That it seems like, again, hey, the hip hop historian, maybe the hip hop Nostradamus. Pusha T says he is very confident that a new Clips album will happen. Marquis, I usually go to Mary first. I gotta come to you first on this one because you call this new label back to Malice from No Malice. All the signs were there. I missed it. You were right on top of it. What do you think about hearing Pusha T said that a new Clips album?
I feel like Inspector Deck and watching Socrates just behind him, just predicting shit, dropping these philosophies and hypotheses. I'm for it. And it's funny because he did an interview and he said everyone was basically saying how, his brother is lyrically better than him. And I know we're going to review the album, but Malice from day one, when I first heard Pusha T, like I like Pusha T, but I always said the wrong brother retired. Malice is just nasty. So yeah, I was right. I knew Clips is coming back. Like, just perfect. We need it.
Did Malice become a preacher? Or am I confusing him?
He
found God, but
He
didn't
got
become a
married,
preacher.
and that there were pictures of that everywhere, right?
Yeah, he became No Malice, and he started talking more about, with religion and everything. I don't know if he became a minister or a pastor or anything like that. Like,
What's the opposite of Malice?
I don't know if he's
No malice.
ordained, but he was definitely online, giving out the
Hugs.
word.
Hugs.
Go ahead, Bailey.
No, I was just saying I don't know if he was ordained or anything like that, but he was definitely online, on IG a lot, preaching the word and stuff like that. And I think there were clips out there of him actually in church,
Yeah,
but anybody could basically do that. I mean, not anybody, but you don't have to be a preacher to give out the good word. But I'm definitely here for the project. I'm not actually the total opposite. I always thought Push was a better artist. But I mean, shit, both of them together that's unstoppable. It'd be dope to see what type of content, how they structure their tracks out, considering that they're in two totally different lifestyles. You know what I mean? Or at least talk about.
I don't know.
Can we get a Griselda and Eclipse collaboration? Can we get that, please?
I would love.
That would be pretty crazy.
I think Pusha could pretty much go and lock in with anybody. So I would definitely tap into that.
Yeah. Mary, what do you think about the Clips coming back?
I thought I covered that already.
Did you? Oh shit! All right.
Well, I don't know.
I didn't think you really said much.
I mean, yeah, cool.
Okay. Yeah, cool. All right, there you go.
I don't know
Fucking
if
A,
we're gonna
fucking
have
A.
Pusha talking about Coke still, and then No Malice preaching. I mean, it would be kind of cool if he'd be like, "You shouldn't do that," and then they go back and forth.
Well, Malice did drop an album since he became No Malice, and it wasn't like preaching or whatever. He still was dropping bars. He just wasn't really cursing and talking about dope. So
I can see as long as they got the Jada and Styles back and forth, I can see them going the good cop, bad cop route, and it'll work.
I wait till we get to the review. I'll tell you what I see.
All right. Moving right along. DJ Tim Westwood has to quit his radio show after allegation of sexual misconduct. Now, Tim Westwood's been around for a long time. Mary, I will come to you first on this one. What do you think about what's gone down with Tim Westwood?
Well, is it just allegations? Like, what? Give me some more information.
Yeah, so right now, 3 women have accused Westwood of predatory sexual behavior.
Okay.
4 others have alleged that
it was 3 women. The end.
Yeah, 4 other have said that he groped them at events.
Get him out of here.
All right, Baylor.
Wait, so has he been charged?
He has not been charged with anything as of
Yeah,
yet.
I ain't touching that.
Okay,
I don't care.
all
We
right.
already know what we just finished going through.
Fair enough, Marquis.
He's a 6'4", 64-year-old white man in hip hop. Like, shit done went down. Most old white people with fame, shit done went down. He just got caught. And again, I agree with Baylor. Like, it's allegations, but when there's multiple allegations, there's smoke, there's fire, there's gasoline, there's pyro, there's the game.
Napalm.
You know, yeah. So,
all right. Well, that's what that. I mean, it. Tim Westwood's been around for a long time, but it doesn't surprise me. People who've been around for a long time, when allegations start coming out or one comes out, people start speaking out more and more, and so we'll see.
I will say this though: it always says something when the person steps down before any allegation, anything is founded.
Yeah,
that says a lot.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. All right, next up, Elon Musk buys Twitter.
44.
$44 billion. How do you think this? And they tout Twitter as being an open source for to share your opinions, and it should be that. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's making. I know this isn't straight hip hop news, but a lot of people do use Twitter as a platform to not only talk about things, but to share what they work on and things like that. Do you think Twitter is going to change at all because of this? Marquis, I'm going to come back to you first on this one.
Absolutely.
What do you think is going to happen with Twitter?
This is a problem, and I don't think people realize how much power this man has now. Remember, when Dogecoin blew up, it was because of a tweet from him. Imagine if he controls whatever comes out, especially with NFTs, the way the economy is, with Donald Trump did with Kodak. Kodak stock went from $4 to $90 a share, and people bought in. There was some hedge funds that made billions off of that. Now he can control whatever narrative comes out of Twitter, and most people get their breaking news from Twitter. So now the algorithm will work in his favor. Yeah, this is scary, and he don't like black people, especially at Tesla when there's the slave
That's
section.
what I was about to go into. We just had a topic about a month ago of the mass racism going on at Tesla. Now he's that same person is going to own Twitter.
Exactly, and he's going to make more European powerhouses and crush a lot more black people. I'm sorry. This is the culture he already created, and it's been verified. So I'm afraid of this, to be honest with you.
All right.
There are no black people who own any social media. Just think about that. No black people.
This is a fact. Baylor?
Yeah, I don't care. That shit don't affect me at all. To tell you the truth, I really don't care.
Are you still banned from Twitter?
No, I'm on Twitter every day.
Okay.
No, but
you were banned at one point, right?
Never banned.
Never banned. His page got shut down.
The page got shut down because of copyright.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't act a fool on Twitter like that, but I get it. No, it don't bother me at all, because if it gets to the point where they doing too much to where they trying to keep us from something, or I don't think it hurts nobody, really. I don't think anything is going to change. I wish we can go back to 2009. That's when cats could really, speak freely. But if anything, I think he can try to, but nah, I wouldn't try it. I don't think anything changes for me personally.
All right, Mary.
I am concerned about the fate of Black Twitter under an Elon Musk internet. So yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, somebody really needs to start Black Twitter on its own. Marquis.
Essence BET. I look.
Looking
That's
at
a whole
you.
other conversation. That's a whole other conversation.
But we black.
You know the problem with that? You know
the
blackity
black delegation of Twitter might need to leave.
You know the problem with that?
And find a new location.
The problem with Black Twitter, well, if I try to create something like that, some black people come for me to try to dig skeletons out of my closet to make sure I don't get that high.
For sure.
That's the problem. They won't do that to Elon Musk or anybody else, but they'll do that
I think you're pretty clean.
I know I know that, but I might have did something back, in like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that, similar to, I don't know.
What?
I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I
Just
don't know
8?
shit.
Damn.
Like
No,
years
seriously.
ago, that sounds like you know what you're talking about.
I don't.
No, I'm making shit up. I'm just saying it's. I would love to. Maybe we should. Maybe we should.
Maybe
Maybe
we
we can start
should.
right now.
Maybe we
Maybe we should
should.
do that.
Maybe this.
That's it.
We
That's
should
what we
do
should do.
it.
Mm-hmm. There you go. The Black Coalition agrees.
Black
All right.
Twitter.
There you go. Black
Not
Twitter
on
on
Twitter.
its way from the Breaks Radio. Be on the lookout for that. Let's go ahead and get into our album review for this week. We got Pusha T. It's Almost Dry. Who wants to volunteer to take this one away first?
I'll go.
All right, go ahead, Bailey.
Production wise was mid, but the content provided with the production was A1. I just felt like the beat selection was just a little off. You know what I mean? But there were some here and there that stood out that I banged. But it was just like how y'all was saying about Conway. Like shit still sounds the same to me, but I just listened to what he was actually talking about. So same thing with Push. Like I was just listening to the bars that he was breaking down. Outside of that, the feel for the music wasn't really. I didn't really like the production. Even I think he said on one of the beats that that was made that he had a difficult time catching, and he didn't too much like it that much. But yeah, I don't know about that one. I want to say it was more of a let me get Pharrell and Kanye to produce it because I know I'm gonna get a lot of looks based off of the people that's producing the album. So I think I would have went elsewhere with this one.
Yeah, the production was definitely one of the weak parts of this album. But who wants to take it away next?
Good, because you already know I'm going.
I mean, it was pretty mid for me too. So there really isn't much more to say outside of what Baylor said.
Fair enough.
So all right, I'll jump in. This was still on Good Music, number one.
Was it?
Yeah, this was still on Good Music. Two, it actually was pretty clever. They dropped the album and then they dropped Pharrell versus Ye. So they basically put Pharrell's top, his 6 on top, and then Ye's on the bottom. That was pretty interesting. So there's 2 versions of the album. I agree. Production was mediocre, and it was kind of bland. And I think we knew this from the singles that were dropped. He went against there. I promise you this will happen. He was in the studio, wanted to not talk about coke. Ye was like, nah, nigga, you got to go back to talking about coke because that's what he did. Went to go talking about coke. And the best verse on the whole album was Malice to me. This motherfucker killed it. I don't know if y'all dissected everything he said. I went through the album 4 times in the first. Cause I had to find something from Pusha T because the last 2 projects were like, oh, you got it. Then when you say your album's better than Tyler's, I gotta listen. And I try to fill some gems out of it. Jay did a mediocre. Jay did what Jay did. Well, Diet Jay. Everybody else, but Malice had the best verse on the whole album. Crisp, clean. This is what made me hope for another Clips album. And I think since he dropped the No, it feels like he's more of an ode to his cocaine or coke selling days, but the feeling and how it relates to what he's going through now. So he's a much better storyteller and more relatable. And he can depict stories much better than Pusha T can. So that's my expectation. Exactly what it was before when they were Clips. So
for me, this album was just, it was so. Like, to Baylor's point, the content and some of the things that you were rapping about was pretty good. Like, as far as like from a content standpoint, the production almost completely took, like, listen to this whole album. The first time I listened to it 3 times through, the first time I was so taken aback by how terrible the production was that I literally could not take in anything other than the production being terrible. Listening to it the second time, I got to take in the content a little bit more, and I do appreciate what Pusha was trying to rap about on this album. But it just, maybe this was just the album that you throw away to get off Good Music as his final album. That's kind of
Yeah,
what it feels like.
probably so. I hope so.
But Ye released him. I thought.
I mean, but hey, listen. Sometimes you still gotta
Please your masters.
please some things. Yeah,
Or
yeah.
maybe
So
not even that. Maybe he did it, with him letting them off. He said, you
Yeah,
know what? I'll just still, release this album for you.
yeah, but you can't have Pharrell and Ye produce your album and it sound like this. That's the
Well,
problem. You can't have them two producing an album and it sound like this. It just didn't feel right. And I don't understand what was different lyrically from every other album Pusha T does. It's the same subject matter and content. Delivery, flow, style, sentiment. The only thing he dropped was the that's the only thing he dropped. That's the only thing he dropped in his album. Other than that, it was the same album over and over again. And I can't compare this to Conway because Conway albums was much better than this.
oh yeah, by far,
the same to
by
me.
far. Man, I wanted better for Pusha, but at last, this was kind of to Mary's point, it was a mid. It was very much mid. Let's move right along to some better stuff. What you got for us for Black People Like Rock 2, Marquis?
So, in good news, Machine Gun Kelly is quitting rock music. But in bad news, he's going back to rap. So I don't know how to take that one. Exactly.
I like him way better as a rock artist, and that wasn't even really rock. That was more pop.
Yeah,
But
punkish
yeah,
pop. So he was on Howard Stern and he did a song cover of System of a Down Aerial because he was like, this is one of the songs that motivates him and he sang it. And I swear to God, if I were them, I would like, yo, I will sue you if you ever sing my song again. It was fucking terrible. I'll send y'all the clip.
We should not let him back in.
I think we should just get rid of him altogether. But
I mean, this is a larger conversation that maybe we all need to think on. But
preach, go.
This is our culture. We can't just be letting motherfuckers come in and out like this is some kind of revolving door. Like, there's a reason why your mama said you can't be coming in and out of her house.
This is true.
Do we own hip hop anymore?
But that's the thing. I was just about to say that. It's our culture.
Well,
we
time
don't own
we take
it
it back.
It was been time to take it back. Motherfuckers
All
too busy
right.
making money.
So add that to the list. After Black Twitter,
okay.
We're taking hip hop back. Got it?
Who's the person who basically owns his music or allowing him in the door? It's Diddy.
No, it's all of us who have supported this fool.
I don't know anybody who supports him.
Now you can't come back.
I don't know anybody who supports him. I don't know anybody who actually. The only time I actually paid attention to him is when he tried to diss M. That's the only time I actually paid attention to him.
And you know what's funny enough is that I know Machine Gun Kelly's always had his base, right? He's always had his fans, but I have never seen so many people in hip hop talk about Machine Gun Kelly as when that Eminem shit went down, and then the motherfucker had to leave rapping. Now you're coming back.
Yeah. So
right. That should not be permitted.
Again, I'm 100% with you.
This is a culture. This is not something that this is not a job where you.
It's not something you can take on and off. You shouldn't wear like we don't get to take it on and off. This is how we live. This is what we live. This is what we breathe. So when people think that they can come out in and out of our culture and use it as they see fit to do whatever they want with, it's disrespectful, and we definitely need to stop allowing it. But the thing is, it has hip hop gone so mainstream at this point that it's too much for us to rein back in. That's the question.
We don't own the radio stations that it's going to get spent on. So whatever he's going to drop, we don't own the stations that he's going to get airplay from. So he's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, whatever. The culture should not show up for him again.
What you think?
I don't care about that nigga.
my last real quick point. Noel Gallagher, he's one of the hated brothers of Oasis. He made a really interesting point. He said he fears for the future of rock music. Where are the 14-year-old bands now?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, my rock my relationship with rock is very scarce. But I definitely in middle school and high school, there were a lot. I grew up in a neighborhood neighborhood with a lot of black and Hispanics. So, but a lot more Hispanics were in the Rock than
Mm,
obviously than black people. But yeah, like here and there, you would see a group of Hispanics in a garage,
mm-hmm,
like practicing going to work, et
mm-hmm,
cetera, because they were mimicking, those bands. So yeah, you don't see that anymore.
mm-mm. The last band I know that made it when they were a younger age was this band called Greta Van Fleet, and they were younger. There's like a big following for them when they were younger. They named their band after their grandmother, but
Hmm.
we don't hear anything, and I think we might be heading to the direction where they say rock is dead, especially now that we know that Machine Gun Kelly's leaving rock. You know what I mean?
I think that's a dope topic in the future. Like where did these not just rock bands, but even the artists that were attached to groups and things like that, where did they come up with these names?
Hmm.
I
There's
can
some
Very
tell you
very
true.
stories too.
interesting names in rock. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
That's for sure. All right, let's move on. Snowfall, the season finale. Mary, take it away.
Franklin Saint.
AKA Kanan. Kanan Saint. Isn't his last name Saint too?
No,
It's not. What is it?
no.
It's Kanan something. Well, regardless, don't let me sidetrack. Go ahead.
Now you got me trying to remember what Kanan's last name is. It isn't Saint. Hold on.
Stark.
Stark. You're right. It is
All right.
Stark. There you go.
All right. Which is nothing like Saint. So I don't
It's a
know.
yes. It ends with a
Yeah.
T.
No.
Okay. No.
We're
No.
gonna
Five
that's
let
gonna
5 letters. No. All right.
starts with an
Go ahead,
S.
Mary.
Mm.
5 letters.
Anyway, long story less long. There were moments where I was very nervous in that episode. It gave me anxiety. Um, but fucking Franklin pulled it off. Yeah, so I feel like that was crazy. They really did lead up to season 6 and the final season being fucking off the chains. All I gotta say though is that the beginning of this season did seem a bit slow, and next season can be that way, right? Like it has to be real TV time from off rip for next season. I feel like I'm really curious to see what Sissy is gonna do now that her gangster seems to be unleashed. Um, I'm really heartbroken over Avi. My man's did not deserve to go out like that, honestly. That was terrible. And like El Chapo really killed him after he gave his word that he wouldn't. So he lost respect. Kind of wondering what is gonna happen to Teddy's new little, I don't know what that girl is, that his girlfriend? His
Oh,
chick
I
that
guess
El
so.
Chapo ran off with because he carelessly left her outside as if she was about that life. Um, and then I really just hope that Leon left, and something tells me he didn't.
yeah. Our history, when people want to leave LA, is not looking good for him.
Yeah, that will be a huge mistake. I feel like that would be Leon's ruination. Like, and
Fair
he
enough.
got Wanda back, and her ass took off from work, so he better follow through. Um,
Oh, you know,
and
never
then
gonna stop
I
a
don't
black
know
woman.
what becomes of Jerome and Louis, right? Like that could get real tricky. I mean, on the one hand, they both could just get taken out in this new feud that has started. I don't see Jerome leaving Louis. I definitely think Louis is gonna die.
Yeah, I think so
And
too.
then I feel like that's either going to make Jerome more villainous and push him further away, or it'll make him realize he needed to be with his family from jump and go back. But I think that'll be pivotal. I think those are all my thoughts.
That's fair. That's fair. Marquis?
I think I told you I felt this series is better than Breaking Bad, and it's building up to one of the greatest finale of all time. Um, Franklin under pressure, you saw him a little, but he still needed help. I think it was magnificent how it went. I'm great with it. I'm looking forward to next season. That's all.
Okay, fair enough. What you got, Baylor?
I think the bodies hit the floor. I think it's going to. I think they're going to hit the floor in a way where it's going to be a lot of chaos. So I think Louis is going to die, and I think she's going to be the first one. So that'll spark up rage from Jerome. And I think Franklin is emotionally clocked out, so that's dangerous. I enjoyed every bit of the final episode. I think Teddy gonna have to watch himself. Yeah, it's gonna be a. I think it's gonna be a bloodbath.
What do we think happens to Teddy? Does he make it out of this alive?
No, he
Yeah,
can't. Teddy has to die. He has to die.
He won't
I
die.
will want. I will.
Teddy
want,
will
I
die
will,
before the
I
end
will,
of the season.
I would want him to. I would just say I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. Only because I feel like they will want us to. They will want to leave us pissed off.
He's probably gonna be a politician or something like that, die, fake his death or something like that, and come back or do something behind the scenes. But he's not gonna die.
I'm telling
He's a
you,
representation of.
you want to put a wager on it, not
Let's go.
monetary. Do you want to put a wager on it?
Absolutely.
Okay, if Teddy does not die by the end of the final season, you're a Knicks fan, right?
No, Lakers. What the
Lakers?
fuck?
Oh, I couldn't remember.
Don't disrespect me like that.
I mean, both teams
All
suck,
right.
so don't. It's not.
I'm
it's
sorry.
still
We have
disrespectful.
18 championships right now.
All
No,
right,
we don't.
listen. Last year's prices are
going
not this
on?
year's
No,
prices.
no.
That don't matter.
But what we're not going to do is act like we still not the baddest bitch. That's what we not.
You're
gonna
not
do.
the
Thank you.
baddest
That's
bitch.
what,
Thank you,
that's
B.
what we're not going
Y'all
to
the
do.
bottom
is?
bitch right now.
For
Literally,
y'all
got
to-
more
you have the
championships
worst
than
no,
roster
no.
construction in the NBA right
And
now.
that-
One season.
and that's cool. But no other team besides the Celtics can sit at the same table. So
Word.
have some
When the last time the Bulls
respect.
won?
Have some respect. And when your team can carry a legacy like that, then you
Listen,
can talk.
y'all
Put some
not
respect
carrying the
on that.
legacy, so that don't matter.
We should
All
be
that
carried
shit,
it already.
all
What are
that
you
shit is
talking
null
about?
and void. Y'all ain't the only
last time y'all won a
legacy
championship?
y'all carrying is mediocrity
When the
and
last time
bad
y'all won a
hairline
championship?
You got
and bad knees.
you
That's
got to
all
make
you got.
2 years
you
ago.
got
When the last
you
time
got
y'all won
you
one?
got to make it
That's
make
it.
sense though. You got to make it make sense.
Yeah,
How?
Listen, as long as Hairline James is on y'all team, you're not carrying no legacy. Bro.
That's fine.
He
We
won
gonna-
a championship 2 years
and
ago.
the
You're
cool
not
part
carrying no
about it
legacy, bro.
is we
Not
gonna
carrying
find
no legacy.
we gonna find
Just for
another one.
men is y'all legacy right now.
What's
Period.
y'all's? What's Chicago's?
Period.
What's
Period.
Chicago's?
Bad knees is our
ended
legacy.
with-
That's
it ended with
fine.
Jordan. That's it.
That's fine.
When's
That's
the last
fine.
time y'all won a championship?
Hey, we won
What's
more
the
games than you guys
relevancy?
this season, and we swept y'all this
The
season.
season. Don't matter what you do with the season.
It does
Y'all chasing-
matter.
Y'all chasing games. We chasing rings. We
Y'all
win
not
them.
chasing shit, but old
We win
men right
rings.
now. Y'all
Right
not
now,
chasing a ring.
We still won a ring 2 years ago. What
It
you
don't
talking about?
matter. That's 2 years ago.
When's the last time you won one?
It doesn't matter. That's
It
2
does
years
matter.
ago.
It does matter.
You're not at
No,
the
it
table,
does
bruh.
not.
You ain't the
That
table
No,
does
it does
matter.
not. Y'all not at the table right now. Y'all underneath
Right now.
the table.
We own the table. We
You
own the
don't own
table.
the
We have
table. Y'all
more
don't
rings
own
than
shit.
everyone else.
Y'all don't own
Dude,
shit.
We own more rings than everyone else.
If
We
y'all
own the
don't
table.
shit.
Okay.
Y'all don't own shit. The Lakers are the
Okay.
laughing
All right,
stock of the
this
NBA.
just got real crazy.
No, this was long overdue. This was long overdue.
Hey.
some we are the table. Yeah, nigga, how the fuck
We
y'all
are
the
the
table?
Because
When-
we
when
built
y'all-
the
when
motherfucker.
Y'all didn't build shit.
If it wasn't
Y'all
for
didn't
Magic
build shit.
Johnson, the league would be done.
Yeah, okay, but guess what?
What?
That's over with. You got Hairline James on your team right now.
He
You
got
ain't
a
winning
ring.
shit.
He got a
You ain't
ring.
winning shit.
Name somebody on your team that got a ring right now.
It don't matter. Y'all ain't.
Caruso.
Y'all ain't. Oh, Alex
Caruso
Caruso.
Oh, that's right, Caruso,
Caruso.
right?
Yeah.
From where? From
You know
where?
where he came
But guess
from.
what?
Yeah,
And y'all let him
exactly.
go because you know what? Y'all
It
roster
don't
sucks.
matter. It don't
Word,
matter.
right?
He wasn't with us.
And y'all still lost.
Wow. So D
Y'all
Gray just
roster
said
sucks.
Lakers Knicks same trash, which honestly
trash.
is what I was kind of
Same
thinking.
trash. Exactly. The same trash. I don't even remember what the fuck we was talking about anymore.
Yeah, this just really it turned into a little
we was
fight.
talking about Franklin and the new squad that he put together because it's about to go. It's about to go down.
Franklin did put a squad together to go on the hits and hitting everybody's spot. What Franklin did at the end of the episode.
Well, wait. But what was his squad comprised of?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Black
he
women.
got two. He
Black
got two.
women.
He got
Okay.
and two of them is with the shits. I had.
For real.
They was with the shit.
Yo, you know how real? Yo, his mom came in. You want me to pat it down? That's how real shit got.
Yeah.
You want me to pat it
Yeah.
down?
But besides the death that we
And first of all, hold on. I'm
have,
sorry. I got to start this off. Never in a fucking again should Snowfall start off with a sex scene with that ugly motherfucker. Because goddamn, listen, that woman is ugly. She is ugly as hell. And the fact that that's how you decided to start off your finale, I damn near turned the motherfucking thing off.
Yo,
Come on,
I
man.
heard it and fast forwarded because
Jesus Christ, man.
But wait, so we didn't touch upon that. What do we think? Well, who in this thread had a theory? Was it you, Baylor? I think it was you. And it was a very interesting theory that had me thinking, because what do we think is her deal? I don't think that the writers are that bad that they would have dropped her in the way they did and not have like a reason for it. And I do think that her really turning into some kind of villainous character might be the reason for that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then, like,
That's fair.
did she call her mother at the end? Like,
Yeah,
what was
Did.
that?
What's
She
her
clearly
mother?
she called her mother.
And so, who is her mother?
That's the thing with her mother. She's always talked about her mother being a scam artist and things. So is she
Right,
calling
and
in
like,
her?
what kind of dude is Franklin that he really is impregnating a bitch who he don't even know, didn't do his homework to know who the fuck she is and her mother is?
Well, fuck who
If you
she
think
is.
about
The motherfucker ugly as shit. Like you could
well, that
impregnate
too, yeah.
anybody else. Anybody else. Like, come on, man.
But I'm saying, when you're living La Vida Loca like that, you gotta make sure you know who's in your circumference. Like, for real, for real. Everyone would be background checked in that motherfucker. Like, you can't even enter my party if you don't fucking know. Like, I don't know your grandmama's mama. Like, for real.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about what's gonna happen with that 73 mil.
Oh, this 73 mils good. Teddy ain't giving that shit back.
You think Teddy's just gonna hand that back over?
You know what? You know what?
I think
I think
I
Teddy
got
giving that
curiosity.
I think if Franklin get a hold to old girl, he might have some leverage.
Why, of all people, why wouldn't Teddy just let him rock? You know who Franklin is. Why don't you just let him rock? And the Gustavo, Gustavo, he tried to warn you, bro. Like, oh, you know he coming after you too. Gustavo
Yeah, that
should've
was
listened.
heartbreaking. That was
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
All he had to do was leave Franklin's money alone. Bam, everything.
Nothing would have happened. Everybody. Teddy started the war. Teddy
He
just,
did.
you should have
Because
left
Teddy
him
always
alone.
has, and that's the problem, is Teddy always has to make sure he gets in that last dig on people. And it's like, literally, you could have let it walk away. Lou's going to keep moving the drugs for you. You're going to keep moving the money. Like, and listen, when you put somebody like Franklin with their back against the wall, you never know what's going to come out. And Teddy always thinks he's protected. Teddy always thinks he's going to wind up on top. And I'm telling you.
But he's outside of the U.S. government. Like, you don't have protection. You're expendable. And what's his name? I forgot the Jewish dude name. He told you, like, Franklin is another dude. Like, we're not like him. Everyone should know that. Avi, he was like, yo, Franklin is here. His war is a whole different war. Yo, I don't know why Teddy just decided to let me show you how much power I got. You think he's just gonna let it rock? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what he was doing with that one.
So what do you think happens? Does Gustavo become like an informant or something? Because I do think Gustavo, who he was when this series began, is definitely not the Gustavo he is now, where now he has those kids and the girlfriend who, kind of seems like she don't want this life anymore. So I think that kind of makes him vulnerable to flipping.
But the person who arrested him was the partner he killed, best friend. You remember?
Right. Yes.
So there's gonna be a lot that's gonna go on there. But yeah, Gustavo's. Let's see what happens with his loyalty, because he's one of those loyal dudes. We'll see.
But the thing is Gustavo's been paying close attention. He's been seeing the little shit that Teddy's been doing all season and kind of looking like, I don't know if I'm feeling this.
Listen, literally why he was about to be on the run was because they discovered Teddy was bugging him too. So it's like, I think that sometimes you got to be loyal to the motherfuckers who are loyal to you. And I think Teddy has proven that he is not.
So it's war on Teddy. And it's war on Teddy, right? And that's why Teddy's not going to die.
Bro, Teddy's gone. I'm telling you, Teddy's gone before the end of this year.
Okay.
Teddy's gone.
I'm sorry, what was that wager? That's what.
That's what we were talking about. We'll talk about it off air.
All right, okay.
We'll talk about it off air. All right, Atlanta. Let's get into Atlanta. Another strange episode, I would say. I thought it was going to be one of the ones that started off with all our guys in it with the way that it started off with the clothing designer and everything, but it all turned around. It was such an interesting thing on how like causes and things can be used against you and things like that. Like it was one of those really insightful episodes. I didn't like some of the acting in the episode, not from the main characters, but from some of the other side characters that popped up in this episode. But the message of the episode was definitely one that was relevant and hit deep. But go ahead, Mary.
Well, first of all, Van returned.
Yeah,
and
disappeared.
And like, I do think she stole that shit.
Definitely.
Oh, she did.
Like, what is up with her? She's on like a stealing spree and just like, I don't know, something.
Whatever they said she did that.
She did
that.
Right. Yes. But I mean, I feel like we can't stress this enough. The messaging of this season, if you're actually paying attention, which I will say though, it's not easy to pay attention. Like, because the messaging is like baked into a lot of layers here. But it's phenomenal, honestly. It's really like, it's deep, it's relevant. It's shit that we all are kind of feeling, you know, especially when it comes to racial matters. I'm surprised. Maybe that's why it had to be baked in, right? Because I'm surprised the white people at FX greenlit this shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It was, I mean, again, we're going down like weird kind of not connecting rabbit holes, but it was solid still nonetheless and entertaining. So
fair enough.
You want to go, Baylor?
No, you go.
So I found a few things interesting. Paperboy wanted to get all radical when he needed to become radical, and he took Ern's ideas and try to implement them, right? Now he wants to basically come with, y'all niggas ain't niggas, especially the white dude. Like, no, you ain't no nigga, whatever. But he stole his ideas, and he didn't see that all the way through because that's not what he's about. That wasn't his original message. That's one. It's so fucked up how they just showed you, Darius showed this white chick, this is my culture, and how quick his culture got robbed. That was so. And how many people catch this stuff? How many people are sensitive to that? You know, the people who rate this show, and I've always asked this question. This is a high-rated show, and a lot of the audience is white. What's going on? What are we watching the same thing? It was almost like that, like Dave Chappelle, right? When he said, at one point I was making comedy for everybody and everybody was laughing, and then I realized, are they laughing with me or laughing at me? Because a huge part of his audience was white. And I'm intrigued because this show is a lot of white people love this show. Do they know why? I want to know why. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to know what you love about this show, because it's basically showing you how you're a major problem in this cog right here. Like, everything is going down to where you're the fucking problem, and they love it. Is it one they feel shame, like, oh yeah, we got away with it, or like, I would love to have a conversation with a white person who watches the show. Like, what are you getting out of this? You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna tell you the truth.
I know, but still, like,
it's our culture.
Even white face, my white paint my face to just sit down and watch it with somebody white and be like, oh yeah, that's just very interesting. I would really love to do that. That sounded really fucked up, but I want to know.
It's our culture, man. It's too rich. It's rich and it's entertaining. So
see this shit right there? I'm sorry.
This is not the first show, or this is not the first I've heard of. A lot of white people watch our shows. It's entertaining. Sure. It has no pun. It has a lot more flavor to it.
That is a
really good question. That is a really good question. Right? Like, not just white people, like non-black people. How do they take this content? Because clearly they can't relate.
No, and I think that's why they watch. They watch.
This is like a fascination.
It's the same, but it's the same for me though. Like I was watching Saved by the Bell, and I was watching all these. I watched my white drama, but I also watched how they quote unquote grew up and how they grew up and where they grew up and stuff like that. So it's the same for me in reverse.
It's
Like I'm
different because
watching
that's
this.
something you want to be. Like you want to be rich. You want to be wealthy and comfortable. They don't want to be us.
Mm.
Shit, I can't tell.
I mean, they know. What is it?
I,
Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody wants to be a nigga, right?
I get that. I get that. The only part that they don't want is they want to be. They want everything about us except with their
Without the
money.
drama. Mm.
Mm.
And getting shot. What did somebody say?
No,
Well, no.
they like that. They like everything, bro. They might like it at different levels. They love everything about us.
They
If
like
you
it
look-
until they're dealing with the discrimination and the setbacks.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing.
come into it.
It's easy. It's easy to like the lifestyle, the view of it, the flavor of the culture, but they don't want to live. They're not prepared to carry that weight.
Nah.
You feel me? They're not built. They're not built to live the way we have to live. And they'll never understand that, right? No matter how many shows they watch, no matter how many documentaries they watch, like you can get a view on it and a perspective on it, but you'll never know what it's like to live it. And so it's a gateway for them to get in it and feel like this is as close as they can get as possible. And I'm sure a lot of people actually walk away from the show feeling like, hey, now I understand how black people are feeling. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't understand it now. You don't understand it because you watched Atlanta. You don't understand it because you watched a few shows. You don't understand it because you watched some documentaries. You don't understand it. You have a view now. You have a perspective, but you can never live it. You can never understand what it's like.
Shout out to Greatest. They want to relate to our struggle, but they don't want to go through it. That's just impossible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they don't want to go through it.
Who
How we got
said
here?
shout
I
out
do
to
not know,
Elon
but
for
great.
saving us.
Saving us.
You see that? You see that?
I
DXR
see
kicks.
it. I see it.
All
right.
Be a bot.
Yeah. Anything left on Atlanta before we get into the last topic today?
This is the last season, right? 2 more episodes. How many more
No.
episodes?
In the fall, it's gonna come back.
It's coming back.
So.
Yeah. This is the first
Okay.
half of
Yeah.
the final season.
Okay.
Baylor,
That
we
might get
came up
dark.
with a topic today. Artists and their best track. What you got for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out some random artists, and I'm gonna start with some. I wouldn't necessarily say some easier ones, but some household names, and then you have to give me what you consider their best track. Like
Okay.
if you had to introduce hip hop and this particular artist to somebody who has no knowledge of hip hop and wants to know about hip hop, you introduce that artist and their best track to them. So the first artist is Biggie.
Juicy.
I agree.
For me, I would say I got a story to tell. Only because
I thought about that was the second one that came to mind.
Because it showed first of all, I mean, clearly his skill level was still very high up there with that, but it also showed like the clown side of Big, and also the storyteller side. And I think that for me, like Big was a funny motherfucker, and I feel like it isn't appreciated or applauded enough. You know what I'm saying? Because of like the way he kind of went out and all the bullshit at the end. So that would be my representation of him.
Okay.
My personal representation would be Who Shot You, but I'd probably say Hypnotized because never lose, never choose to.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Next one is Snoop Dogg. I'm gonna go with what's my name?
I go with Gin and
Is it
Juice.
the name,
Yeah.
Murder?
Only because that's what I
Gin and
think of
Juice.
when I think of Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I had that as my second one.
Pimp Slap.
Okay.
Because he was bold enough to do it when no one else was.
So you gonna introduce Pimp Slap to a person that doesn't know anything about?
You want to know why?
Yeah, see, D Greatest is really feeling us tonight.
Here's why. Everything Snoop is now, people will be shocked that he made Pimp Slap.
That's
I
fair.
wouldn't. I don't think so.
That's because you lived it then. Snoop, people nowadays have a completely different view on Snoop than what we do because we saw young, aggressive Snoop.
Don't give a fuck, Snoop.
I get that. All right. Okay.
You get what I'm saying with that one? Like we
No,
know.
I don't, but I've accepted it.
Okay.
Because I don't know why you would introduce that one. Like,
Okay. Again, I'm saying me personally because I need you to understand if you're gonna step into the culture, this is what I want you to say.
Okay.
and I agree with that. I would do it the opposite way. I would show them all the singles and things
You want
like
to
that,
wine them and dine them.
and then be like, no, but check this though. He can also do this. So you might want to chill out. Same thing I would say if I introduce somebody to pot.
No Vaseline. What?
And then the next one after that, I got two more because I wanted to do one for the East, West, South, and Midwest. So for the South, I'm going to say Scarface.
All right. Are we talking Scarface? Because we have to bring in the boys. But are we saying like Scarface himself?
Whichever one you feel fits, bro.
My mind playing tricks on me.
I might agree with that one.
I don't know. I think guess who's Bizak when I think.
Yeah.
Scarface.
My block is what I think of.
That
Yeah,
too.
my block was heavy. Heavy.
Yeah. My block is that's like a Negro spiritual to me.
Okay.
Who you say?
I agree.
No tears.
Said no tears.
No tears.
Said
Not
no tears.
about
That's a
that
good
one.
one.
Okay.
Okay, D Greatest.
Kind of Snoop through pre and post death row. All right.
True.
I like
Baylor,
the greatest.
I know.
what'd you
I
pick,
like the
Baylor?
greatest too.
I agree with
that
Marquise.
Lakers comment.
Okay.
I agree with Marquise. And the last one, Midwest. I'm gonna throw an easy one out there. I'm gonna go with Kanye.
Oh, you can't. Fuck. One song for Kanye?
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I miss the old Kanye.
Yeah. I'd go Jesus Walks.
I like
if
that
I
one.
really had to introduce someone to Kanye.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Really? I don't want to fool the people.
This is not. Don't forget, this is not like my personal favorite track I'm gonna throw on when I want to hear Kanye. But like introducing who Kanye is, I don't know. Yeah, Through the Wire too. D Greatest, that's a good one too.
Through the Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Runaway.
Runaway.
Yeah. I'm going with Spaceship.
Oh,
yeah. That was like my personal anthem for a minute.
Testify for me.
I like that one too. I like that one
too. I like that one too.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Kanye. There's so many songs.
There are.
Yeah.
True. That is Rhyme Fest.
It is Rhyme Fest. I mean, if it wasn't Rhyme Fest, it was Consequence. So
yeah.
Consequences.
All right, that's a good topic, Baylor. I like what you did there, bro.
Yeah, Baylor. This is a good segment. Let's keep it.
Yeah. I like it. Like that.
But that has been my cube. No, we'll go there later. No. I'm sorry.
That has been. That's another episode.
In the future, I'm gonna go to a lot more artists that's not so mainstream.
Okay.
That's cool. That's been another episode.
Maybe in the future, Hayes won't be yawning
of the break. Nah,
he'll be like 2 times the size of
especially while I'm still down 28 pounds. But there's been another episode of the Breaks Radio.
Hayes is looking like the Captain America before the serum.
Hey, fuck y'all.
Hayes is blurred.
Mary, go ahead and give me your social media. Let's get up out of here.
Okay. I'm Miss
Carter.
Peggy. Anyway, I'm at Miss Mary Almonte on all social platforms, and follow Young Urban Moms and follow Rock the Bells. I don't know if y'all see my. No,
you can't see it.
No, Rock the Bells.
I see it.
Yeah.
All right. Baylor, go ahead.
At Baylorism on Elon's Twitter. At Baylorism on TikTok. And that's just about it. If you follow me on those two, you'll figure out everything else. And and everybody go hit up Elon and tell him, ask him if I can get my old account back. New boss, new rules.
Keys.
New boss. You know what? Shout out to Greatest. Follow that nigga because I like him. He's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's from over on my Chicago Bulls channel. He's a good dude, man.
You know what? You're gone. Just crush that shit. My bad.
Thank you, the Greatest.
Yo, drop that Twitter, the Greatest.
You
Word,
guys can
drop
follow
the
me
shit.
at CEO Hayes. You can follow us collectively at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, thebreaksradio@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do so at 614-547-2039. We are the #1 podcast for the culture. And this week, we out this bitch.
Lake
Peace,
Show.
y'all.